A lot going on the political front in New York. The New York mayoral race heating up, as they say. You got the communist, Mamdani. I'm not even going to try to say his first name anymore. Like, why should it be our problem that we have to remember two goofy-ass names? Mamdani, that's goofy enough. You know who it is. I'm not going to try to remember the first name, too. So, Mamdani, that's who it is. And then you got Cuomo, Andrew Cuomo. He's the disgraced governor of New York, thrown out of office for sexual misconduct and murdering the elderly at rest homes. It's a retirement community. At old age homes during COVID. And Curtis Sliwa, a Republican, the only person worth voting for. Adams is running too, the current Mayor Adams, and he's polling at really low numbers. I don't think anyone's even going to consider him. The good thing is the only numbers he's going to take away are Democrat numbers. Republicans aren't going to vote for him. The trick is, can New York City, it's not the state, mind you, the state doesn't get to vote for the mayor of New York City. There's a lot of red counties in New York State. New York City is a very blue city, just like major cities around the country. So Republicans would really have to come out in droves. Like every Republican's got to come out and vote for Curtis Sliwa. The good thing is, though, Adams, Mamdani, and Cuomo will definitely divvy up votes from the same pool of people that just aren't going to vote for Curtis, and Curtis's voters aren't going to vote for them. So hopefully Curtis can get a third of the base of the other three candidates, and we'll see what happens. And you look, people call me nuts. They go, what are you talking about? Curtis should drop out. They should put that. Why? Why should Curtis drop out? Why should he fucking drop? He's the only Republican in the race. Drop out for a Democrat? For Adams or Cuomo? Fuck no. How about this? Instead of urging Cuomo to drop out of the race, how about you urge your Republican friends to register to vote in New York City and get out and fucking vote for mayor? Vote for fucking Curtis Sliwa and see what a Republican, a non-politician, a no-nonsense guy that has been around the streets of New York City forever, see what he can do. You're all happy to see what Trump could do. A non-politician who had some good ideas, some basic common sense ideas. Well, why not give that chance to Curtis? Get out and vote for him and see what happens. If he's mayor, look, first of all, again, he can't do any worse than what New York's seen in the past couple of mayors. De Blasio and Adams, it's a clusterfuck, New York City. Hi, this is Anthony Cumia.
And hello, I am Gavin McInnes.
Together, we're Compound Censored.
And we'd like you to subscribe to our network that has more fantastic content you could shake a stick at. Use this promo code for a one-time super offer.
Do it. It's uncensored and oh so entertaining. You walk around with your head on a swivel. Is a homeless guy going to hit you with a pipe or push you in front of a train or light you on fire? Taxes are out of fucking control because they've spent all of the taxpayers' money housing illegals in luxury Midtown Manhattan hotels. It's all, what are you afraid of a Curtis Sliwa mayor, New York, being New York mayor? You think Cuomo is going to do anything different than every other Democrat? Give your tax money to these ridiculous programs, these Democrat welfare programs, while you're just asked to pay more and more and more to live in a worse state? You think he's going to be tough on crime? He's the governor. He was the governor, the motherfucker that signed the bill to get rid of bail. Bail reform, they called it. That was Cuomo's baby. Bail reform. This scumbag, he was arrested for a violent crime. And Cuomo signed the bill that says, nope, you don't have to pay bail. Let him go. So you think he's going to be tough on crime in New York? You think a Democrat is going to speak the truth about the idea that a lot of the problems are coming from homeless and the minority communities in New York City as far as crime goes, and really clamp down and start making arrests, bring back stop and frisk? You're going to get that from Cuomo? Adams is done. And then Mamdani? You're out of your fucking mind if you think Mamdani is a better choice than Curtis Sliwa at this point, with his ideas of free everything, yet no one's going to be left to pay the tab. Who's paying for all of Mamdani's free shit? Oh, the taxpayers. They got to pay their fair share. You know where they'll pay their fair share? Somewhere else, just like I do. I am happy as a pig in shit to pay my fair share to the fine state of South Carolina. And my city tax, whatever it is, doesn't exist, by the way. I don't pay city tax. But my state tax, oh, I am happy to pay my taxes, my fair share. I pay my fair share in South Carolina. And that's what will happen to New York City taxpayers. Not all of them. Some people are gluttons for punishment. They'll sit there until they're drained, till they've drained every fucking drop of money and blood out of them. And you think that's going to balance the budget, though, in New York? The few dummies that are going to stay when Mamdani gets in there, free childcare for the first 7 years, whatever he said, 5 years. Free childcare. Free. What's free? Free fast buses. That's another thing he's just throwing out there. The transit system in New York City is a disaster. It is rolling crime. That's what it is. It's moving crime. You want that? And now make it where no one has to pay to get on a city bus. The pay, the toll, the fare for getting on a city bus is sometimes the only thinnest line between you sitting next to another person that has to get somewhere and you sitting next to a homicidal mental patient. That little fare where you give you let the bus driver know that you paid to get on that bus. That's why crime is so bad in the subways. They stopped arresting fare beaters, turnstile jumpers. They didn't. They made it where it's not a crime. They don't even give you a ticket anymore. Anyone that wants can just jump and get into the subway system. And the fare was the thin line between commuters, people that just want to get to the city, get to somewhere in the city quickly, efficiently, without sitting in traffic. That thin line between them and mental patients, homicidal mental patients that will set you on fire, hit you over the head, stab you, shoot you, rob you. And now he wants to take that away. the thinnest of shields between you and those people. And, make everything free. The grocery stores, that's my favorite. You got some great grocery stores in New York City. Gristedes. I've just pulled one randomly. Oh, the owner of that chain happens to be my boss at WABC. But you want to buy groceries, you go in an efficiently run grocery store. The shelves are stocked with what you want to buy when you go into a grocery store. That's how capitalism works. That's how supply and demand works. That's how our system of commerce works in America. Well, this communist fuck Mamdani wants to have state-run grocery stores. So New York City will run the grocery store. And they will put it in places that don't have to pay taxes and don't have to pay rent on the building. And then, as he said, pass that savings on to you. Has anything New York ever done saved money? Has it always been a boondoggle, a fucking overinflated, expensive disaster? Something's supposed to cost $10 million, it'll cost $100 million. So if you think New York City running a grocery store is going to save enough money to pass the savings on to you, you're out of your mind. You have not been paying much attention. And then, efficiency. When you have a grocery store like Christie's and you go in there, there are people hired to work there and they get money from the boss. And the money they get and the job they do is based on how good they do their job. They have incentive. The store itself, the people working there, the owner, the managers, the suppliers of the groceries, everyone is incentivized because it's their job. That's their job. And if they don't do their job, there's other places that people can go and buy groceries. It's how supply and demand works. It's very basic. So you get a state-run grocery store. What's the incentive for anyone to do anything there? You are going to hire state employees, and you know how they operate because you've been to the Department of Motor Vehicle. You've dealt with county workers, state workers, city workers. You know how slow and arduous that process is when you stand on that line that isn't moving and you watch somebody behind the counter who is incapable of doing their job. That's what you'll get. And what's the incentive to keep the shelves stocked? What suppliers are going to want their goods in a state-run commie grocery store? They're going to want it in Gristedes where they could get a nice display set up. And because again, there's incentive. Socialism, communism, there's no incentive for anyone to work at it. So it just becomes this bureaucratic disaster. And you see it. Like I said, name any of these state-run facilities that run efficiently, cost-effective. When you go in there, you feel like you're getting great customer service. It doesn't exist. And that's what this guy wants for grocery stores. Well, fuck off. So again, it's my campaign plea for Curtis Sliwa. Give Curtis Sliwa a shot. Give him a shot. What do you got to lose? So here's the latest video from Andrew Cuomo. He's taken, he's gone to school, Andrew Cuomo. He has seen what Mamdani has done through social media. Mamdani is making TikTok videos. He's on Instagram. He's amiable. He seems like a nice guy in these videos. He's a little awkwardly funny, like, gosh, golly gee, I made a mistake in the script or something. He's shaking hands, but it's like, hey, he looks sincere. It's all bullshit. It's all his campaign. The people running his campaign are very smart as to how to be effective online. People don't want a video of a politician sitting at a desk, pointing at you, telling you what he's going to do and how lousy the other guy is. That's archaic at this point. So Mamdani did very well in the primary vote by having these videos out there. The young people love him. Look, he's like us. He's fucking dancing. Talk about pop music. Talk about he's doing all the latest dance crazes. So that's what Cuomo's doing. But Cuomo, I can't imagine his campaign people know anything about social media. They're all like crotchety old fucks. He doesn't know what people want to see. His delivery of anything he says sounds like an automaton from Italy. He doesn't come off personable. He doesn't come off as a nice guy, a fun guy, someone you could sit and talk to. He comes off like a crotchety, self-serving politician. But they said you got to do videos. And they got to be videos that aren't just you, saying political things. Appeal to the people, Andrew. Well, we showed one yesterday where he's in a park and he's very stiffly walking. I am going to do great for New York. And you're like, this doesn't have a good feel to it, this video. It's like a hostage video. Well, now he's like, I'm going to get involved with New Yorkers and show you I'm a regular guy. Watch this. So here he is. Let's just play it. You watch along at home.
I am gay.
Sorry, that's the wrong one. I'll pull up the right one. I'm sorry about that, Anthony.
That is a good one. And while that could connect him to a lot of people, it wasn't quite the one that I had planned. Here it is, though. Here's the other one. There it is. No text, no real sound. Just Andrew Cuomo jump-starting a black person's car. It's so stupid. What was that? And again, like they're trying to show him on social media as a regular guy and everything, but they don't understand. Like the Mamdani thing, it's made by people that know social media. They know what connects. They know how to put out a good video and a thumbnail and some text on the screen as he's talking and some cuts and, what you see in an effective TikTok or Instagram video. That weren't it. I'll jump your car. Out the car, motherfucker. If the guy stole Andrew Cuomo's car, that would be a great ad right there. It's for Curtis. Crime, see? It's fucking crime. We got to do something about it. But there's Andrew's latest foray into the social media circles to try to get elected as a mayor of New York City. Good luck. Vote Curtis, please. Curtis Sliwa. If you're a New York City resident and you're a Republican or an independent, fucking get in there and it's one day in November. And fucking give it a whirl. See if you can stir some shit up. He's the monkey wrench that Trump was for the presidency. He could be that monkey wrench for New York City mayor. All right. Speaking of mayors, here's Mayor Bass. You might know her as the black lesbo mayor of Los Angeles, California. During the fires, she did a great job. She was in Africa at the time. She went to Africa because the mayor of Los Angeles has pressing business on the dark continent. There might have been some head shrinking going on. She wants to bring head shrinking to Los Angeles. Or she wants to know how to cook a white explorer in a big cast iron pot. You build a fire, you boil the water, you put him in there, totally clothed with a pith helmet on, and then you stir him around. That's what she was studying in Africa while the Palisades burned in Los Angeles. But she's an expert on everything. She's out in front, face right there. Wouldn't you be embarrassed? Wouldn't you be embarrassed to put your face on television if you had fucked up so badly that a huge part of it, very wealthy parts of your city were burned down because you didn't have water in the reservoirs. You had incompetent DEI hires leading the fire departments. And you're incompetent. You're an incompetent DEI appointment by the voters. I don't know how that happened. Well, I know how that happened. What am I saying? It's Los Angeles. She's an idiot. But she's very happy. She's very happy because single-handedly, because she's so tough and rugged, she chased the United States Marines out of Los Angeles. She even uses the term, made them retreat. This is fucking vile. This is vile. An American city has a mayor that said the United States military retreated. They did not retreat. It's insulting if you're in any, or have been in any branch of the military, having this lump of shit imply that the military retreated because she's so tough, and the shit politicians in California and the ridiculous beta Mo protesters, they chased the military out, made them retreat. Fuck off, bitch. Let's listen to this cock-ass douche.
Hello, Los Angeles. We had a major victory today. After standing strong, Angelenos were united. The peaceful protests, the just egregious situation that has been going on in the city, we've been notified that 2,000 troops are leaving. They are retreating. We stood strong. We peacefully protested. We demanded that the troops were not needed here, and we won.
First of all, do I even have to explain this? The troops were there because the protests weren't peaceful. We saw many police vehicles on fire. We saw police officers being assaulted. We saw property being destroyed, arson, assaults. This is what the peaceful protest that this bitch says, peaceful protest. This is what was happening. So Trump thought it a sound decision to bring the National Guard in. And they restored peace very quickly. And a few thousand Marines were also called in to make sure nothing got out of hand. And those protests, by the way, they were peaceful after the military calmed shit down. Once they got there, we didn't see any more burning police cars or arson. You know, we saw a lot of these douchebags marching with their signs, which they have a First Amendment right to do. Those were peaceful protests. And then when they assessed the situation and realized, well, I think this is calmed down enough where the military isn't needed anymore, they left. This fucking piece of shit implying that her and the politicians and the protesters chased the American military out of Los Angeles is insulting. This bitch should be impeached if they can even do that with a mayor. I don't know how the stupid ass state of California works. But to say that the military, retreated from the likes of you, a roly-poly lesbian fucking bitch, incompetent. Piss off. Piss off. They say shit like this all the time. It's degrading, it's demeaning, it's anti-American. And you know, they love saying shit about Trump and the military. Oh, he's going to cut veterans benefits. He doesn't care about the military. He's cutting waste out of the VA. He's cutting 9 of the 10 jobs that one person can do. And that's why so much money is going into this bullshit. For years, it's been ATM for government bureaucrats and nonsense. Oh, you must hate the military. No, I think Trump likes the military. I think the fact that he's not deploying them to every shithole around the globe is a good thing. But this fucking where are the soldiers? Where are these rah-rah military guys to call her out in saying that some fat and some fat protesters got the United States military to tuck tail and run out of Los Angeles? Yeah. Sure they did. Sure they did. Here's Mayor Bass demanding that ICE agents show their identity behind their masks. They wear masks. We know this because the doxing of these agents and their families has gotten ridiculous, very dangerous for these agents. If they go out there without face covering, the left, the Democrats, Antifa, they find out where they live. They find out where their families, and we know these motherfuckers, they don't give a fuck about anything. They'll go to the guy's fucking mother's house and do shit to her. So there's a reason these guys are wearing masks. Let them do their job. If they're not doing their job, if they're going outside the bounds of legality in apprehending illegals and deporting them, that'll come out. Believe me, there would be Democrats chomping, fucking foaming at the mouth if they actually had a legitimate case where ICE agents were overstepping and could hold them accountable. I mean, really doing something illegal. They would in a second, but they don't. They just have, due process. They're getting due process. Due process for an illegal alien is to be apprehended, processed, and thrown the fuck out of this country. That's due process. They're getting it. So they scream that, making it sound like they're American citizens with every right bestowed upon American citizens when it comes to being in this country. The second they came in here illegally, they committed a crime, and ICE is well within their bounds to locate them, process them, and get them the fuck out of the country. That's real. I'm not making this up. That's not my opinion. This is the law. So if you got a different take on it, you're out of your fuck mind. So wearing masks is a big part of them being able to safely do their job. That's it. That's it. So let's hear Mayor Bass talking about this nonsense.
A bulk of the executive directive was around the city family, but we also are filing a Freedom of Information Act because we want to know who these masked men are. We want to know where the people are that they're detaining. Do you know they've detained hundreds of people? Families don't know where their loved ones are. They don't know if they're in Los Angeles, California, or even in the United States. They don't have access to legal counsel. So the court decision that happened just last evening basically said that people do have to have basic rights.
Yeah, people have to have basic rights. You're right. You can't just shoot illegals on sight. That is a right that they have. You can't just shoot them. You cannot torture them. That's a right. You can't have that. They're being given every right they are due when they are here in this country illegally. And she seems to think everyone should be treated like an American citizen. That's not true. That's just not true. If you are here illegally and you commit a crime, you are due process. You have every right to a trial by jury, a speedy trial by jury. You have the right to an attorney if one cannot be, if you can't afford one, one will be appointed to you. You have all those rights once you break another law when you're in this country. If you're crossing the border illegally and breaking that law, they absolutely have legal jurisdiction to throw your ass the fuck out of here. And the families, hundreds, we don't even know where they are. We don't get bullshit. More bullshit. Everything is recorded. Every single thing, there's records of it. And you're listening to families of illegals that go off like we see on police body cams, lying, saying I haven't heard anything. You heard. They told you. They told you where he was going to be. They told you where you could get your information. They didn't tell me anything. They didn't tell me anything. Whatever the accent. But they just lie. And this is happening. And, thousands of motherfuckers are being thrown out of the country. And this is what we voted for. Illegals being thrown out, sugar and Coca-Cola. I'm a happy man. So if you enjoyed that clip,
then subscribe to Compound Censored using this promo code.